G'day taxpayers. The Cotality house price series for May just released, and another moderate result. Our house price is up 0.5% in May, and they're up only 1.7% since the start of the year. So that's sort of an annualised rate tracking towards about 4%, plus 4%. Now, the reason for the lift in house prices, the fact that that fall that we saw at the end of last year and very early this year has been reversed, I think, is because the labour market's resilient at this stage, that the unemployment rate hasn't really kicked much higher over the course of 2025. That's one of the most important things. We do have some moderation in demand for housing. All that said, immigration is still relatively high, even though it's off the highs that we saw immediately after the pandemic. And the supply side response is disappointed that the new listings, which had kicked higher earlier in the year, have now sort of faltered a little bit to be below where they were previously. So you throw all this into the melting pot and you get this position where house prices are going to be a little bit more supported rather than a little bit more worked against. Now, all of that said, the key issues for housing going forward are linked to the usual suspects, sort of more demand coming from immigration, population growth, household formation and the like, new supply coming from new listings and new construction, which is really disappointing. We had a really poor building approvals number last week, so that new supply of dwellings that we need to see over the next couple of years looks to be fading, and that'll sort of put more upward pressure on house prices. And critically important, what happens to the labour market? That's the thing that causes most banks, when they stress test their mortgage portfolio, the biggest concerns is if unemployment goes up. It's pretty hard to make your repayments when you don't have an income and don't have a job. So that's way more important than, a 0.5 percentage point cut in mortgage interest rates, which of course don't have any meaningful long-run effect on house prices. So for the here and now, house prices creeping up, sort of roughly matching the pace of wages growth, affordability improving. So house prices, I thought they'd fall about 5 or 6% through the course of this year. That's probably a little bit too pessimistic. It now looks like with the labour market more resilient, that we're going to be seeing house prices sort of slightly up, even though I don't think we're heading for anything near a strong pickup in house price activity. Thank you.